Hello, welcome to all of you in this video. In this video, we will discuss a nanoCAD Mechanica. So let's get started. In the beginning, we will see what is a nanoCAD Mechanica. nanoCAD Mechanica is a standalone 2D drafting and design application with a huge library of standard parts and tools designed to help automate design tasks and for mechanical drawing creation. So this is a interface of nanoCAD Mechanica. So as you can see in the left hand side, you have the library from where you can take the standard parts and you can put into the workspace of nanoCAD Mechanica to create any part drawing or assemblies, and based on those part or assemblies you can create different type of documentations and related BOQs and other things, right? And in the menu sections you have mechanical plugins on top of nanoCAD. So you have all the mechanical tools here on this menu. You can access the same functions from the command, and as usual you have the status bar of the applications, and you can create the model, drawing on the model, and you have the layouts. You can use different type of languages in these applications to create drawings, obviously. And there are different types of tabs available. You can have the library and properties and some other the tabs that will assist you during drawing creation, right? So let's move further. So now we will look into the composition of nanoCAD Mechanica. So this is nothing but nanoCAD Plus and Pro. It could be Plus or it could be Pro. So it depends on the user how you actually want the nanoCAD Mechanica base should work for you. So you can choose on the basis of your projects or need. So nanoCAD Plus basically is without 3D and parametric functions, but if you go for the nanoCAD Pro as a base, you will get the 3D and 2D parametric functions, right? So on top of the nanoCAD, the superpower applications, general CAD applications. So on top of that, you have mechanical integrations, plugins. So that forms the entire nanoCAD Mechanica applications. It is Mechanica, it's not mechanical. So it's the name only. So the application name is nanoCAD Mechanica, right? So this is the nomenclature of the entire applications. I mean, if we really want to understand and dig deep into nanoCAD Mechanica, we have to understand this overview, this nomenclature of nanoCAD Mechanica. So first of all, you should consider nanoCAD Mechanica is a super intelligent but blank box, right? It's a super intelligent but blank box. Why is that? I mean, you have different country and company specific data, and that's you need to input into the application to set the environment for your design. So once you put data, country specific or company specific data into the applications, that is nanoCAD Mechanica, so it will be super intelligent for you and it will reduce the daily task. I mean the regular repeated task in your department, so that will be reduced. So once you set the company or country specific data into the applications of nanoCAD Mechanica, so now your custom nanoCAD Mechanica is ready and understands your working pattern, right? And obviously, once you set the informations into the applications to set the environment of nanoCAD Mechanica, so once you set that, you can share the similar environments with your colleagues or co-workers, right? So there is no need for you to set each and everything, each and for each and every individuals. Once you set, and that can be shared with all of your colleagues or co-workers in the same company. So now to set the country or company specific data into the nanoCAD Mechanica environments, you have, in broad sense, you can think that you need to set some of the standard and custom dynamic objects library. Obviously, we have more than 3,000 standard parts in the nanoCAD Mechanica applications inbuilt. So you can choose from those standard library parts, or you can put your own parts as a dynamic objects. So all you need to do is change the dimensional parameter, and that should form the entire objects for you. It could be a part, it could be an assembly. So you can create a small objects, dynamic objects, and stored in the applications, right, for the regular use. And the next things you can set as a specific country or company specific informations, that is your company title block or stamp, right? So we'll discuss later on what is title block and what is stamp, but this is one thing that you can set as per your company to set the environment for all of your designers or co-workers, right? The next thing you can focus on is the part list, right? So your part list, your company specific part list or BOQ, that's bill of materials or bill of quantity, right? So that format that you can put into the applications, so that the applications will be uh, informed that the application needs to provide BOQ on the basis of the formats you had provided, right? So this is one thing where you can customize and tell the applications to follow some formats, right? The next thing you can focus on is that the company standard analysis report formats. So, when you analyze something, when you put load on parts or assemblies, so to see the reflections, I mean, to find the consequences of those forces, applied forces, you need some reports. So you can set your own report formats, and you can get the informations from those formats, from those test reports in nanoCAD Mechanica. The next broad things where we can focus on is to automate the design task, the repeated design task. To do that, we have several options in nanoCAD Mechanica. We can use Auto Lisp, obviously. We can use JavaScript. We can use Visual Basic Script. We can use .NET coding, that's C Sharp, or it could be VB.NET, or even C++ to create plugins for nanoCAD Mechanica, right? Let's go further deep in the applications. Sorry. So now we have a snap of drawing title block and stamp. Here you can see that you have options to create your drawing title block and stamp. You can create a new title block and stamp. You can write technical parameters. You can write technical conditions, right? And this is how it will look like once you use the title blocks and stamp. You will have the paper size, so you can move from one size to another easily on the workspace itself. And obviously in the title block stamp sections, you can put your own informations just by click on the stamp, right? So this is how you can create your own title block and stamp, and you can use your own title block or stamp in the applications nanoCAD Mechanica. Now let's go into the design section. In nanoCAD Mechanica, you have options to design threaded fastenings, different type of threaded fastenings, shaft and gear, and believe me, there are many more. I mean, as a mechanical users, all the all the parts or assemblies you want to design that will be available in the applications, right? So you have the dialog box. As you can see, you will have dialog box. All you need to do is just set the informations, the mathematical informations. You need to put all the informations, and the applications NanoCAD Mechanica will form the entire parts and assemblies for you, and that will also allow you to create sectionals or plane or other different type of orthographical views in the 2D workspace. So all you need to do is just to put the informations, mathematical informations, properly in the applications, and the drafting, the 2D drawing will be developed automatically in NanoCAD Mechanica. So as for the gear, so it will ask you for different parameters of the gear, and once you press OK, it will ask for an insertion point and the gear will be formed, right? And you have the similar kind of scenario for shaft. There will be all intelligent objects. Once you move something, and all the connected parts will be updated, right? You have options to not to update at once, but in general we use updates subsequent parts the moment I change certain part of an assembly. Here also you can do that, but you have several other options as well, right? So this is a huge applications for mechanical engineers. They can actually design anything they need to design using the mathematical values. They don't really need to focus on design. It saves huge time for designers or engineers or anyone who are involved in such type of works. And then once you have the parts and assemblies, and you need to create section and views and other different detail viewing in the drawing. So here you have different options from where you can create sectional views, different projectional views. You can create scale fragment views, that's actually detailing views. You can increase a certain portion of an assembly to the bigger scale, or you can reduce, and you can actually specify those detail view in the drawing. And you can obviously, as I said, that you can create the projectional view of any assemblies automatically. There is no manual drawing anymore, right? So in 2D platform you can create automatic views, sections, and other detail informations for technical drawings. Now let's talk about the calculations. I mean, based on 2D drawing, you have different dialog box based parametric calculations options in nanoCAD Mechanica. So it will ask you for the formats as we already discussed earlier. So it will ask you for the formats, and it will take the formats, and obviously it will ask you to put all the legitimate informations in the dialog box, and the entire applications will follow those informations provided by you, and the report will be placed based on the formats you had provided in the beginning, right? So then you can get actually the report you need in in your technical drawing. So this is very easy to create technical reports if you are using mechanical functions or mechanical parameters to identify any part or assemblies in nanoCAD Mechanica. So the next thing we will discuss about the part list or bill of material or bill of quantity. These are all same. So in different countries, in different regions, we have different way of representing part list or bill of materials or bill of quantity. But the purpose is always same. We have certain parts and assemblies, and we always need to extract data, informations from those parts and assemblies and put into the technical drawings. That's what we all need to do. So there could be several ways of defining those part list in the drawing. It could be in different place of the drawing, but the structure, the logic is similar for all the countries, all the regions in the world. So now let's talk about the part list further in this video. So we don't have special tools for localization of part list, because we believe that every country could have its own rules of part list representations. That is why the part list is fully customizable in nanoCAD Mechanica. Basically, part list contains templates of representations of the part list, that is table templates, and the settings of how it should be formed, that is a style of part list. So if you give a close look to a part list, there will be two major portions. One is table templates and the other is a style of the part list, right? So this is the two different things that form the entire part list. So setting style of part list, where are shown in the hidden system folder. So in the hidden system folder, there will be in nanoCAD Mechanica, setting styles of part list will be saved, and making custom table templates. That's also the templates will be available in a hidden folder of nanoCAD Mechanica. But the moment you need to use those items and to form the part list, you can call and you can assemble these two things to make the entire part list, right? So one more thing, it could be very similar to part list, but this is something even powerful in nanoCAD Mechanica. And trust me, there are very limited applications. I can hardly name any of such applications where you have this kind of functions. So for mechanical industries, they can use this kind of functions. This is something we call in universal marker or detection tools for part list, right? What is the concept? You could have any objects. It could be primitives, blocks, standard or custom parts, and from there you can use these markers, right? And you can feed data or auto collect from attributes from those objects, right? And to form BOQ report or BOM or part list report, right? So this is very interesting. You have any objects. It could be block, it could be any standard parts, it could be any primitives, any normal primitives. So from there you can use marker and you can feed data, or it doesn't matter. I mean, you can collect attributes from those objects and make the BOQ in the drawing. So this is very, very time saving and very informative for the technical people who are going to use the drawing, right? So the tool universal marker designed specially to create link between any graphic objects, that those are primitives, and spreadsheet specifications. So from the descriptions, you can understand what does this universal marker mean to any user, how they can get benefit from those functions in nanoCAD Mechanica. Attributes can be visible or hidden. So both type of attributes you can use in the drawing. Values, visible attributes are displayed in the drawing as a text string. So basically attributes can be visible or hidden, but the values will be shown in the table template, right? Marker can be stored in the library of objects and reuse. So that means you can actually use a different type of markers and you can keep in the library and you can use those markers when you need. So there is no repetition of the work you have already done in some other files. So all the times you need to use those marker, you can call those marker from the library. Furthermore, it may be included in the group of objects, enabling to specify the entire functional group, right? So this is how you can use marker in nanoCAD Mechanica. Now this could be something, extremely powerful in nanoCAD Mechanica. There are no such applications available in the mechanical, segments. In 2D, you will have this kind of advanced functionalities in a CAD applications. So here's something we call geometric dimensioning and tolerancing, in short GD&T, right? There are several documentations on the web, and you will have different, I mean, it's a huge vast area. You need to learn, and you need to use this kind of the annotating functions to annotate your drawing, to give the hidden informations to the technical peoples. So they need to use GD&T, and it's very difficult for an user to understand each on, and remember all those things and deploy on a drawing in a short period of time. This is a vast area. In nanoCAD Mechanica, you have smartest way of defining all of those annotating GD&T functions, and you will get in a dialog box form, as you can see. So here you have the positioning tolerances dialog box. You will have surface texture dialog box. So all the science is here, all the science is included in this dialog box. You need to set the parameter, you need to write the mathematical values in it, and that should form the annotation for you in the mechanical drawing, and the technical people obviously will use that and they will get the benefit. And SOS for the permanent connections, that's welding basically. As you know, there are different type of weldings available, and people are using different type of welding in different scenarios in their daily work. So those permanent connections can be annotated using the nanoCAD Mechanica welding symbols, and this is very smart, right? You just need to click on the symbols and it will allow you to choose a different other symbols and define the exact annotations for that particular welding joint. So these are very handy functions in nanoCAD Mechanica. Now on top of that, you have something incompatible functions in nanoCAD Mechanica, as we believe that in nanoCAD Mechanica, as we had used the applications, and we can say these are something that, I mean, it could be the name is similar but the function is totally different. I mean, you have huge liberty. I mean, you can almost do anything you want as a user, and the applications will behave the way you actually need. The application should react on your command. So this is something you can really have, and you can use those functions to cut down the time involved in the projects. You have several functions like break symbols. Just an examples where you can use the break symbols, and these are very smart. It understands when you draw a break symbols on a part or assembly. It understands, you are trying to cut and you are trying to show the part or assembly in a small space, so you need to cut and you need to set dimensions, and it will be done as you need. I mean, as you are thinking, once you use the symbols, the part or assembly will be cut and represent, and the dimensions will be shown, in the part or assembly. So this is very, very powerful. I mean, the break symbols could be available somewhere else, but this is something you should try. And you have, I mean, as we discussed already, that you have part list, BOM or BOQ. Here you have options where you can create your own. You can use the table functions, or you can bring the tables you already created in different applications. It could be AutoCAD, it could be AutoCAD Mechanical, or other any mechanical applications that you can bring into the nanoCAD Mechanica, and you can recognize those already created tables, and those tables can be converted as a smart tables in nanoCAD Mechanica for your use. And then you have the superpower where you can set your own parameters, and you can make one standards as a default. As you can see, in the drop down you have different type of country standards. So once you set one country standards and set symbols, or maybe click on OK, so the entire applications will move to that particular standards, and all the annotations and all other related functions will be provided by the applications will be based on that particular standards. So this is a huge options for any users, any mechanical users. So by that, you can actually, do not really need to worry about any other standards and other things. You should concentrate on the technicality of the drawing, right? And the rest of the things will be taken care by the nanoCAD Mechanica, by the applications itself, right? So this is a huge benefit of any designer or CAD users. And now the most powerful functions in nanoCAD Mechanica, probably. So you have options. You have 3,000 plus of standard parts, different standard parts. Those are all fully parametric. You can choose the size, and you can resize the model or assemblies. No matter how complicated or how complex those objects are, that can be created or can be used in the applications. And the benefit, once you use those library parts, the part list, the concern reports, the views, and the detailing will be done automatically. So it's only all you need to do, just place the objects in right positions, and you should get all the connecting informations related to those parts or assembly. And the way we can implement objects in nanoCAD Mechanica is phenomenal. I mean, you may be a programmer, you may be a designer. So I mean, you are welcome. If you are a designer, you can use the graphic environments where you can just following the projection method, you can create your part list. I mean, the objects library, and from there you can come to part list, obviously. But you can create your objects, your company standard objects, right? And the coder, they can also follow the coding language. And in this applications we have full tutorial, so you one anyone can read, and you can actually write some code and have the objects library working in the nanoCAD Mechanica. Personally, I liked both the options. I mean, it's so simple and yet so powerful to have objects library in nanoCAD Mechanica. And once you create objects library in nanoCAD Mechanica, that can be carry using pen drive, or this can be shared with other users. So you can carry in pen drive, and you can use in home or office. So it's so easy and yet powerful, and so convenient to to share with others. So this is something is almost open hand for nanoCAD Mechanica. You can put your own intelligence once, and the applications will work like a Superman for your designs and other design related activities. Right? And now we will see the list of the customizations options you have in nanoCAD Mechanica. So first of all, if we categorize these customizations functions or options in two different category, one is non-programming customizations and the other one is programming customization. So let's see on the non-programming customizations. We have database contain customizations. Obviously, we can customize the title blocks and the drawing borders, obviously, settings of drawing design elements, table templates, menu and toolbars, part list table templates, style of part list, templates of export of the part list to Excel, SAP calculation report templates for calculations of gearing, transition, recent values. So these are all non-programming customizations. That means you can go into the applications and you can actually customize these different options to make nanoCAD Mechanica even smarter, the way you want actually, right? So in the programming sections, using this programming, you can even automate some of the work. But I mean, as we have something nanoCAD Mechanica objects library, you hardly need this kind of functions because the library is so super intelligent. But still, if you need at some point that you need to automate some of the tasks in nanoCAD Mechanica, you have liberty to use AutoLisp for annotations. You can use JavaScript for automations. You can use Visual Basic script for automations. You can use .NET programming for automations like VB.NET or C#.NET, and you can use C++ obviously to create plugins and use with nanoCAD Mechanica, right? So these are all as we we are discussing on paper how the application is equipped, how you are going to get benefit, and how the application uh, you know work in preparations of design mechanical drawings. So these are just on paper. So you know in the future videos on nanoCAD Mechanica, we will emphasize the practicality of each of the functions or each of the options we have discussed on this video. So in the upcoming videos, we will discuss, how we can use nanoCAD Mechanica and how we can actually focus on those options in nanoCAD Mechanica, right? So thank you very much for your time. I hope, uh, in fact, our entire team hope that you gonna get help from these applications if you are working with mechanical drawings or mechanical you know mechanical manufacturing and other things. So you surely going to get help from these applications. So bye bye, see you next time on videos of nanoCAD Mechanica.